Today we're being joined by WA draftee prospect Koltyn Tholstrup. Thank you, Holtz, for coming on.
No, good, mate. Thanks for having me.
Now, first off, what's your nickname? What do you get called most?
Probably the Ram. I get called that a fair bit, or Ram, by most of the boys, yeah.
Yeah, the hairstyle, obviously, long hair and a mullet type haircut. Do you get much stick about it from opponents or even teammates?
Not really. Sort of something I've been going with for the last sort of 3-4 years. So, yeah, something that's sort of been around for a bit. So, it's good. They like it. So.
That's good. Well, that's good. So, obviously, for people that don't know too much about you, what would be the type of play you would describe yourself? I'm 188 centimeters and forward. How would you best describe yourself in an AFL player comparison?
How to best describe myself? Probably as an energetic team sort of player. I like to do everything that's best for the team and help out the team get a win at the end of the day. And I've probably compare myself to probably on the field or a bit off the field as well. Probably Jack Higgins with his energy and how much he's always smiling and stuff like that. And probably on the field, probably a bit of Zerha, maybe just the way he goes about it. So.
Okay, that's a good question. I actually know Jack Higgins, and yes, he's very, very energetic. He is. So, how was the national championship? Sorry, what was that?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, good. So, how was the national championships for you for representing WA?
It was definitely one that was a bit of a roller coaster. Obviously, didn't play the first game with a broken rib, which was a bit disappointing. But things like that happen in the game that we play. So, but after that, it was good to come back and play against SA at Optus, which was which was a good challenge, and it was pretty sick to play in such a great stadium, and even better to have a win, which was good, especially after the loss we had in the first game. The boys definitely responded quite well to that one. And the third game, or my second game, was one which was proved to be a bit more of a challenge. Obviously, early on, didn't really get close to it as much as I'd like to, but sort of fought the way back into the game. And very disappointed to have a 2-point loss. I think it was in the end. The boys were a bit flat after that, but definitely on our feet at training, which was good. And really wanted to bounce back well for the last game, which obviously was another disappointing result, but they were Vic Metro just a level above us, and I think we all took a lot away from that game. But to summarise it all, it was definitely a bit of a roller coaster ride for most of us, but definitely really enjoyed it and enjoy the lads that I played with.
So how do you balance playing all different types of, or for different teams, where you're playing for WA in the state championship or Subiaco or any other footy you have? How do you balance all that at once? And how's the training side of things? And if you've got an injury, what team are you getting rehab at? How does that all work for you?
I've definitely played in quite a few different teams and different roles and things throughout the year. But when you're sort of there, you're sort of fully focused on the team and what your role is for that specific week. So for state, it was I was with them for about 6 or 7 weeks. I think it was. I think that's what the program was. And national academy was a bit different, where we sort of rocked up and then we're there for a camp and then we played. But when we were there, we sort of knew our roles and what we had to do, and that's sort of what we focused on, and try to block out everything else that was sort of happening externally and for myself personally, and just sort of real dial into what I had to do for the team. And it goes the same way for state and then as well for Subiaco. So when I'm in rehab, it's just listening to the people that are around you. And for example, when I had my rib, I just listened to the state people, everyone that was sort of around, and they had some great advice. So definitely listen closely to what they have. And now at the moment, because I'm in rehab at the moment, I'm listening to what our physio and S&C and what they have to say, and really value what they have and trust the plan they have in place for me.
So you mentioned just then with the current injury. So how long is that rehab going, and when could you expect to be back fully fit again?
So it's been happening for about the last 4 weeks. I've sort of missed 4 weeks. It's been a bit annoying, but the plan that the RS&C coach and our physio work real close together, and they do such an amazing job. And their plan and and everything they put in place for me to get back as quick as I can has been working quite well. And not too sure when I could be back. Might be back this weekend, which would be great.
Okay.
But just sort of wait and see on what they have to say, and listen to them as best I can.
So you mentioned earlier there about your last game being about 4 weeks ago, which was for Subiaco in the WAFL. How's that experience been like to play? I think it's 7 league senior games, official games for them, and essentially kick a goal a game. So how's that experience been for you, especially with when you get to your next step in the AFL journey, you get that experience early on top of some people that maybe just been playing, under 18 championships or something like that, but you get the experience to play the level below AFL and get that experience already. That must help, I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%. I sort of grew up always playing a grade, played my grade, and always play up, and then played league in the country at a fairly young age at 15, and now to step up into senior program at Subiaco, which has been something that I've been so grateful and tried to grab with 2 hands. Obviously, I did the whole preseason and been with them the whole year, which has been great, and so much to learn, and getting that exposure to bigger bodies earlier on, I think, definitely helped me transition a bit easier from the Colts program into the senior program. But definitely, such a big step up from where I was sort of last year. But feel like I've sort of adapting quite well to the bigger bodies. But really enjoying it and learning as much as I can, which is great. So
obviously you love kicking a goal. What's one of the best goals, whether it's for the WAFL, in the WAFL, or the state league, local footy, school footy, anything at all? What is the best goal you feel you've ever kicked? I'm assuming it's going to be a pocket goal from the boundary.
Probably. Well, I'll go off probably one this year. It's probably one against the Swans. First game back from their stated program, where I just sort of got a smother. This guy from Swans was kicking out a full back and sort of like was still engaged and smothered it, and nice little spin move, snap, and I was pretty happy with that one. But that's probably the most recent one that I can remember.
So favorite AFL team or the team you support and your favorite player at that club?
I support St Kilda.
Good man.
It's good. We're in the finals this year, so very happy with that. And probably I think it's hard to go past Jack Higgins and also Jack Steele. Also, very very great players of the game, and love watching them go about their business.
Yeah, as you said, I'm a Saints fan as well, so it was great to be there on Saturday night to beat Geelong, a side that, well, personally, I don't like, and I know a lot of Saints fans that don't like Geelong, so it was even sweeter to not only qualify, but then knock them out. But it was a great performance on Saturday night, and Higo in his 100th, he beats Jack, and then Mateus kicked. You mentioned a goal about getting into the pack, duck, weave, and turn, kick on his left. Filippo kicked a great goal, and it's great to see the first time since 2020, isn't it? It's great to see.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, but always got to stick in there, which is good. So
definitely, you always stick with the same team, you never turn. Who would you say is the best player in this year's draft is besides Harley Reid?
That's a good one. Probably Jed Walter. He's such a big boy, and really got to learn a bit more about him when we were in that national academy, and he's just a very very massive boy. Takes good clunk and kicks some good goals, and he's probably he'll go quite high, I reckon. He's very good to watch.
He certainly is. Who would you say is the most underrated players that in the league level or whoever that you play with or against that you feel that doesn't get appreciated enough in this year's draft conversation that should start to get talked up a bit more?
I think Luca Canfield's definitely right up there. He's been playing some great footy as of recent. Such a big boy, real strong fella. Not afraid to fly for a big mark. And in the last sort of month or so, well, since we got back from state, he's been playing some great footy, a lot of confidence, takes some good marks, kicks some very good goals from tight spots. And he's just such a big boy. I feel like he's got a lot of potential, and when he gets fired up and he's in the game, it's definitely want to be kicking it down his throat. So he's been someone who's been playing some real good footy as of late, and hopefully we can keep going with that.
You got a favourite teammate in any of the WA teams?
Got quite a few. Obviously Clay Hall's probably probably my
Yeah.
closest mate I probably sort of had as we're living together and stuff throughout that state stuff. But in the forward line group, got like Kai de Haviland. He was he was a good mate. Always pushed each other and So and Mitch Edwards, like we're all real good mates. But all got along really well, which was great. So
if the opportunity was to go in a state move out of WA to whether it's Victoria, Queensland, etc., would you be happy to do so if that was what was required to happen?
100%. I don't think anyone that's a chance of getting drafted or whatever it may be would say, oh, like I'd rather stay home. Like if the chance was there, like I'd love it. I wouldn't really mind where I'd go. Like if you, at the end of the day, if you're lucky enough to get your name read out, I feel like you'd be that over the moon. And just to have the opportunity, chance to get to an AFL club would be it'd be the best case scenario. And I think it's everyone's dream growing up. So don't want to be bad about it. So if I was lucky enough to get drafted and go into state, I'd definitely grab the opportunity with two hands and give it the best shot I can. So if I am lucky enough, wherever I may go, I'll be over the moon. So fingers crossed with that one.
Very well said, Colts. Now another question. Have you met with clubs recently in the last 2 to 4 weeks or so? Or was it more back end, or is it starting to ramp up now?
Had a couple within the last couple, few weeks,
Very good. Any weird recruiting questions that you've been asked at wherever club? Don't have to say the club, you can just say what the question was or whatever. You can if you want.
No, I haven't actually any weird sort of questions. There's some that sort of put you on the spot, but they're not really weird. But most clubs I've spoken to have been it's been a good conversation and good laughs and stuff. But haven't had any odd questions as yet. So
I remember last year some of the draftees that got drafted for this season, I asked them the same question, and they had some questions like, if you were a car, what car would you be? Have you had anything like that?
No, I've spoken to a few boys at the club who had a couple, and some clubs have told them to count back from 107s, or there were two trains colliding. One had your family, one had 1,000 people. Which one would you save? Like I've spoken to a few boys, and they've had a couple like that. But no, I haven't had any. I haven't had any weird ones. I had one probably when we had a bit of our speed dating. It was if your house was burning down, what are 3 things you'd grab? That was probably the most odd one I've had. But apart from that, they've all been pretty good questions. So
that's good. I had never seen so amazing what they're trying to gain out of questions like that. But that's what they do. Where are you? Any superstitions before games?
Used to be very I like to go to the beach, the same beach. It's called Leighton's Beach in Perth here. I'll go there and then there's a good gross IGA just at the County Bridge there, and go in there and used to be able to get a juice there and then come home and just chill for a bit. But now it's sort of there's a rowing field, so I go over there, sit in the corner of this like outside sort of area before a game and get a banana bread, this like amazing banana bread, and then a little English breakfast tea, and you just sit there and look at the river, look at the rowers go, and then you watch them clean all their gear and stuff like that. It's just very relaxing and peaceful, and sort of it's such a good way to start your day. Always get up at 8 o'clock as well.
Okay. Is there any this is a bit off footy for a little bit? Is there any foods that you have that you will refuse to eat?
No, not really. I don't mind trying new things and like things like that, but probably a food that I don't like to eat too much is probably tomato. When it's on its own, it's pretty haywire. But if it's like mixed in with stuff, it's not too bad. But it's probably something I'd try to stick away from.
I'm the exact same. Now, I know you're a potential draftee, but you're going to be the recruiter. You're going to be the people that ask you the questions. Who would you say is your top 5 players in this year's draft? If you were the recruiter or if you're the list manager, who would you be ranking the top 5?
Good question. So I'd go, I think, it'd be hard to go past Harley Reid as the number one. He's such a powerful guy and so much potential and, real workhorse and goes about his business so well. So I'd probably have him at 1. At 2, I'd probably go Jed Walter, such a strong key forward, and if the team's obviously looking for a big forward, I think he's definitely one, and so much potential in building his game even better. So I'd put him number 2. Number 3, I'd probably go Riley Sanders. Such a good inside mid and works hard, and goes about his business so well, and such a good bloke off the field as well. At number 4, I'd probably go Big Mitch Edwards. Such a good ruck. If I was in the midfield, if I was Riley Sanders, I'd want him tapping me the ball all day long. And so much potential as well. And that's the great thing about him. And as well as Riley, such a good fella off the field. And then probably a top 5. Who'd be 5?
You got Curtin, you got another WA teammate. You got Zane Dersma, Nick Watson, a few Colby McKercher, some of those type of guys.
They're pretty good. It'd probably it'd be between I reckon McKershner and Kurt. I reckon both excellent talent and so much potential as well in them two. And Dan, we'll start with Dan. He's works hard in the gym, works hard on the track. When he's at footy, he's fully focused, and he's so in depth and wants to get the best out of himself as well as like his mates around him as well, which is great. And Colby, had such a dominant state champs, and backs his skills really well and brings everyone else into the game as best he can. And they're 2 names that'll fight for that 5th spot, I reckon.
Who do you think will win the Brownlow medal this year and the Premiership?
The Brownlow medal, I'd love the Bont to win it. He's so deserving of it. He's been real close in the last sort of couple of years, which has been real close. But I definitely think the Bont would. It'd be hard to not let the Bont win it. I'd love him to win it. Such an animal and works hard. And then to win the Premiership, obviously I'd want the Saints to win it, but I reckon the Brisbane Lions might come home with it. They got a lot of big names on their list, and that'd be exciting for them. Yeah.
One more final question I got you for Colin. So I really appreciate you coming on, mate. Which player do you feel loves the limelight, loves the camera, loves the attention, and that I should try and target to get on the podcast next?
Oscar Heinvassen, he loves it. He's I wouldn't say loves the limelight as much, but such a funny guy and always cracking jokes and so fun to be around. So I reckon he'd generate such a good conversation on here, and he'd be someone who's pretty funny to have a talk to. And even Clay Hall, he's got a lot to talk about. So I'd probably chuck one of them 2 on next, I reckon.
No, I'll send them both a message after this. Colin, I really appreciate you coming on, mate, and thanks for coming on, and all the best for the rest of the year season. Hopefully in a few months' time or 3 months' time, however long it is, you're at an AFL club, mate, and have a long career there, mate. So appreciate you coming on.
No worries. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate you having me on here, and it was good to have a good chat. So thanks.
Thanks, Colton.